Hi, it's Dave here from Elysium Sophia, and today we're back on using our usual platform because yesterday, don't know what was happening. If you did join us yesterday, all you could probably see was the session with my face like a jigsaw puzzle, and a lot of our friends didn't get the notification to join us, so we made a little one afterwards to say hi. But we're back, and it's starting to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. And it really is starting to look like Christmas. I don't know how many people are going to join us this afternoon, but if you're joining us today, we say hi and a really happy early Christmas, because this is Christmas week, the week just before Christmas, which is the best week. It's where magical things happen. And stay with us here, live at Elysium Sophia, where we can help you to unwind and to relax. And we dedicate this show to a chat show, so you can get anything off your chest and we can celebrate things together. So if you're joining us today from the Philippines, from Asia, from Dubai, from the Middle East, from the United Emirates, we say hi and good afternoon and a happy Christmas. If you're joining us from our second home in Cyprus, again we say hi, how are you? And you're really welcome. If you're joining us from across the pond in America, from California, from wherever across in America, we say hi. Juliet the Shih Tzu maybe, I don't know. But of course, if you're joining us from here in the UK, if you're friends of the family, if you're friends that know Sophia personally, then we say hi to you too. And of course, our friends in Europe. I will stop now and let the panda that's waving at me frantically say hi and introduce herself as Penny the Panda.
Hello everybody, Penny the Panda here from Elysium Sphere. So the first person we've got is Jack Flirt, who says hi. So hello Jack.
Hi Jack, how are you?
Our live stream. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And yeah, I hope the quality's better today.
Yeah, let's hope it was better than yesterday.
Yesterday when we went live, the platform we normally used to go live on, it was just...
It was just poop. It just wouldn't work. It was the gremlins run it yesterday. You know those little gremlins that you get, those little elves? I think they were messing about around Christmas time.
Yeah.
You know, they flood toilets and they smash your house up when you're not in and cause all sorts of grief. Well, I think it was one of those that had gone in the system. But yesterday was poop. It was a right mess.
After the live, we tried it again and it worked.
We did.
When we finished, so...
But yeah, we're back on our usual live platform today, using our usual session that we can do. And just quickly, Jack, to you and Sophia's friends that have been sent some kind gifts, Christmas presents. It's been really appreciated. So I hope you have a lovely Christmas. But obviously we'll be on right the way through to Christmas and during Christmas. But just a happy early Christmas to everybody that knows Sophia personally. And again, if you sent Sophia a card, and especially a present at school, then obviously thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Not literally, but obviously, you know how it goes. Thank you. It means a lot to us. Thank you very much. And if you're joining us from anywhere else in the UK today, I don't know, maybe from York, and maybe from a vegan realist, or maybe creepy. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. Kalal, not talking about you, as we sorted that out last time. We're talking about Creepy, who was with us a couple of days ago, had to fly off, not literally, not off bite, it's not a bat bite, bad out of fair bite, flew off the other day because he had something to do, but we've been Christmas shopping today too. It's been amazing. Meadowhall was pack-a-roonied this morning, very, very busy. We've been shopping, come back, started to chill out and relax. So if you're joining us again from the UK, we say hi. Obviously, if you're joining us from our second home in Cyprus, or if you've got a Cyprus connection, how's things in Cyprus? Can't wait to get back. And if you're joining us from anywhere today in Europe, from Scandinavia, chicken, bing bing from Sweden. If you're joining us from Sweden, from Denmark, from Stockholm, then again we say hi to our friends from Scandinavia. And of course, anywhere else that you're joining us from, it's starting to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. Just hear those sleigh bells ding-a-ling, ding-ding, ding-a-ling too. Oh, oh, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go, let's look at the snow. We're heading in a wonderland of snow, ho, 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 ho. And of course, it's that time of year. Betwixt now and Christmas, probably the best time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And we're not talking about COVID as much today because we've had enough of it. What the flipping heck, eh? What's happening? Tier 4! That's what's happening, mate. Tier 4. All the people that were in down south, my word. Culver fam, if you're there, and if you're there from down south, let us know what's happening down there. This new mutation of COVID. What is it doing? Oh, my word. And come on, let's give it a bit of relief. Penny.
Right, so I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but we've got Cherry TV Language Channel.
Oh, language channel.
Hello, host.
Good afternoon.
Shout out to all. So, hello, thank you so much for joining our live stream. Thank you for the Tamsack.
Thank you for the Tamsack.
Thank you so much for joining our live stream. And yeah, that's Cherry TV.
Yeah, hi.
I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong as well.
Whereabouts are you from? Whereabouts are you from joining us? If you just joined us for the first time, we are Elysium Sophia. And Elysium, all about mindfulness, meditation, relaxation, martial arts, kickboxing, motivation and hypnosis, and health and well-being. It's named after my beautiful daughter, Sophia, who's aka Penny the Panda, working with me today, obviously. And Elysium, about wholeness and well-being. And our channels sort of come from the ashes recently, and we've expanded to now hosting a chat show. Because at Elysium Sophia, we engage with you in a mindful way so that you can relax and you can engage in the here and now. And we talk about anything that you want to talk about. It's usually we're joined by Creepy, we're usually joined by our friends from in America, and of course our friends from the Philippines, and here in the UK, as I mentioned before, lots of different places that all say hi to us. We're making it a bit festive. Very festive, in fact, not off, mate, between now and Christmas. Singing a few Christmas songs and getting everybody into the Christmas spirit. Because, as I was just saying, Bojo back again with us yesterday, talking about how we believe that, which is crazy anyway, but COVID was going to disappear between the 24th, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, go on its own little vacation. And we were all going to be able to bubble hop, and meet and greet and do whatever we wanted for those few festive days. But then yesterday came the news. No, Christmas is cancelled, especially down south, because you've been you are. They can't even do it for one day, my darling.
No, I mean here.
Here we can have Christmas for one day.
Yeah.
And we can have Christmas for every day as we like. But if we're meeting family, then we can only do it over one day, which is fine, because we can meet our family over that day, stay safe, because we really want to get the back end of COVID, don't we? But at the end of the day, London, down there, the new Tier 4. 1 minute you're in down there, you're enjoying it a little bit more, you're going to football matches, you're enjoying things, we're stuck in Tier 3, and then all of a sudden, bish bash bosh, leave it. You're not going to be dancing down the Old Kent Road this year. But I mean it, seriously. Really feel for you guys down there. It's crazy, isn't it? But apparently there's a new strand, which we were talking about it briefly yesterday. This new strand that's mutilating. Sorry, not mutilating. It's mutating. It could be mutilating. I don't know. But it's getting. And apparently this version it's no worse. Doesn't affect us any more. But it gets to us quicker, and it's more easily transmitted. And the powers that be yesterday were telling us about this new version, this new strand of COVID, that is quite hard, it's quite aggressive, and can actually jump across and get onto us a little bit more quickly, and it's more easily spread. The vaccine still works on it, luckily, as far as we know, and I think we just... Now, I think because London is being affected, the capital city, and where the the capital where all our finances are done, and obviously the hub of the economy, I think now, because London's hit so hard, we need to get the vaccine out ASAP for the sake of everybody's mental health and well-being for a start, which is what we're concerned with, but the state of the nation and the health of the nation, fiscal policy, economically, oh my word, got to get that out there, got to get the vaccine out. What do you think? On its way? Penny?
I don't think it's another version of COVID. I think it's just...
Cold?
No, I think it's just COVID. I think it's
just COVID?
Yeah, I don't...
Just COVID dressing itself up in a Christmas outfit and turning into Super COVID. And, bouncy, I don't know what that is, my darling, but it's one of those things, I think, that we've got to try and get to the bottom of it. It's supposed to be a new strain of COVID, or just a different strain of COVID that's just more easily transferable. It means that it comes out. Now, if you're listening in the wings, again, if you're one of Sophia's friends that hasn't got a YouTube channel, but you're joining us today, you're welcome. And again, you're welcome to join us today. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope you're enjoying your time off school. And obviously not going back on the Monday we thought we were going to do, are we? Having an extra week off, which is absolutely supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's great. It gives you another extra week. But oh dear. We're just going to have to just see what happens, aren't we? Let's just enjoy Christmas and let's just see what happens then in January. I think the vaccine should be with us. My parents were Sophia's grandparents, supposed to be having the vaccination this week, as far as we were aware, but apparently that's not going to happen now this week. It's either going to be the week after or at latest, by the sounds of it, the first week in January, which is fine. But come on, for goodness sake, let's just get it on. Get it on. Ooh, baby. Let's get it on. Let's get this vaccine out there, because clearly, as I was saying earlier, the fact that now London's hit by it big styley, obviously London, such a popular, such an important place economically, if nothing else, for the UK, and now it's suffering with COVID even worse. So we need to get the vaccine out there, because to get everybody back kick-started again. Bojo, I don't know, feel for you again, mate, because clearly you had to be the bringer of more bad tidings and non-comfort and joy, and Mr. Scrooge yesterday banning Christmas, the Grinch, as it were. But you can't win. He can't win, can he? So he's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't. So happy Christmas to you early, Bojo, and you know, let's it'll be okay. It'll be all right on the night. Penny.
I'd just like to say as well, if you can share this live, that would be really helpful.
If you can share it, that would be amazing.
We're having trouble at the minute with YouTube.
Yes, we're having a few issues with YouTube at the moment.
So where we can't share the live.
We can't share the live.
If you can share this live, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, share it for us if you will, because obviously we can't do it from this end. At least we're now back on the platform doing it how we wanted to. But yesterday was a nightmare. Those gremlins, oh my word! I looked at it back, and my face was just like a jigsaw puzzle. Sinead Unicorn Hulk.
5 days until Christmas.
How many?
5 days.
5 days. It's starting to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. And it is, isn't it, Unicorn Hulk? And we saw you again yesterday on the other channel that we really like.
And we're so happy that we can...
We're happy that we can get back with our friends that we like on the other side as well. Hello from the other side.
It was really nice to see you.
It's a great chat, wasn't it? Yeah, it was great to see you on the other side. Great to see you on this side as well.
I'm so glad we can get back on.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was really nice seeing everyone yesterday.
It was nice to be back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So good to be back home again.
Unicorn Hulk said, yeah, that was fun.
It was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, we had some.
We really enjoyed seeing everyone again.
We did. We played some games, and played some games with that emoji and all sorts of things yesterday.
Yeah.
It was all good fun, all good friends and jolly good company. And go on, Penny, go on, Panda, spit it out.
Oh,
no, it's okay. It's like you just said, Friday, so it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 5 sleeps till Christmas, isn't it? 5 sleeps, and doesn't seem 10 days ago when we were saying, look, it's going to be upon us very, very quickly. But it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And it is, apart from COVID, swallowing it a little bit this year, but it's COVID appeared like Mr. Ben, like the proverbial Mr. Ben, and said, I'm going to mess up your Christmas. Yes, Mr. Grinch. So it's strange, isn't it? So we've got tier 1, we've got tier 2, we've got tier 1. Yeah. If please pass it on to the rest of the dingles, please. It's not tire, it's tier. Yeah. Dinglese apparently pronounces it tire. A tire's on a car. That's what tires are. They belong on cars. And the dinglese, some people speak. Well, I'm sorry, darling, but it is, isn't it? It's dinglese. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Yeah, to call it tires, just wrong. It's just deranged. It's a tier. You don't have a tire Christmas cake, do you? Oh, look, I've got a 3-tire Christmas cake. It's a tier. So obviously, tier 1, not too bad. Tier 2. Tier 3, which we're all in, we're all in. It is what it is. And tier 4, this new one.
I was speaking to this person the other day.
Person?
And
a dingle, was it?
Not naming any names.
Oh, I see.
I was speaking to this person.
Okay.
And they said, it'll be okay after Christmas because we'll be moving out of tier 3.
They did. Oh, shame on you. Shame on you, the person who's saying tyre, because again, tyres just belong on cars. It's the end of the day, that's what it is. It is what it is, and obviously if you want to talk about boxing, we were talking yesterday about AJ and Tyson Fury getting it on. Let's get it on. Are you looking forward to seeing that in the new year? Let's hope Mr. Warren gets together with Mr. Hearn.
Didn't you say he's got to have another fight?
It sounds like AJ has got to have another fight before he can fight the great Tyson Fury. I don't think he will. I think he'll just go straight for each other. I think they'll pay off certain clauses, and that's the way it will be. But yeah, bring it on. That's going to be the fight. Excuse me, that we've all been waiting for. The fight to end all fights. It will be an amazing evening to see AJ and Tyson Fury, because we like both. We like and respect both boxers for different reasons. As we started to mention yesterday, Tyson Fury, a great guy, and an intelligent guy, an interesting guy, a funny guy. Oops, today's just been knocked out there. And obviously got a lot of time for Tyson Fury. We train in the team Mac the Knife stuff, myself and Sophia. So a lot of time for Tyson Fury. Always have done right from the very beginning. But obviously a lot of time also for AJ because he's an athlete and a great athlete, and he represents a lot of things good in this country. He's come through the ranks, gone through the Olympic Games, and then turned professional and done it all the right way. So two different ways of coming together and two worlds colliding, but it will happen. And I think last man standing. I do think it's going to be a very early fight conclusion. I think it's going to finish within the first 3 rounds. I really do. Both big hitters. Tyson Fury saying that he's going to do it within 3 rounds and maybe the 3rd round. Obviously keeping him at bay, and then boom. I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen. But it's going to be amazing. What the heck? What's the undercard going to be? Derek Chisora maybe? Oh, Derek Chisora. Oh, Derek Chisora. Why don't we have Derek Chisora and Dillian White again to have each other again? That'd be good, wouldn't it? As the undercard for it, that would be amazing. But yeah, that would be fantastic.
Do you want me to say who I've attered?
Who have you attered, my little panda?
Then, I nearly put Deontay Wilder.
Did you? You said ask Deontay to come along? Yeah, we could. Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? We could get Deontay on live. That'd be amazing.
Because I can't share it, I've attered.
You've attered people.
Jen
Louisiana.
Kui Official. Eliza
Doolittle talks to the animals. Eliza, come and talk to us.
Vegan Realist.
Vegan realist. Not been for a few days, vegan realist. Hope he's okay. Culver fan.
Kevin King.
Kevin King.
Grumpy vegan granddad.
Grumpy vegan grandad.
Creepy.
Pardon? Creepy. I'm a creep. Not talking about you, Kalal, again, obviously. To make that clear. I'm a weirdo.
Ashred de Jesus.
What? Astrid de Jesus.
Rico's Kitchen.
Rico's Kitchen.
Mars did it.
Mars done it just a little bit. And yeah, and I did mention yesterday, I'm not going to go on about it again, but if you are one of these idiots that keeps blocking the little Sophia when she comes to your channel, primarily from one of our, if you are one of these idiots, then don't block her. She's only coming to say hi.
Nab. Hello,
You got Nab again. Hi, Nab. How are you?
Nab said video looks good today.
Nab says, do it. Thank you. Yes, I'm not a jigsaw puzzle today, am I?
So now, we finally got it sorted out.
Yeah, I got it sorted.
What happened was, at the end of the live stream, we went onto the platform we usually go live on.
Yeah.
And we tried to go live on there.
We did.
And I pressed a few buttons and we went onto a few things. And eventually, it worked.
It worked.
So it's...
We did it.
We finally did it, but that was at the end of the live. So now...
So we did a 1 minute live, didn't we, after the live?
No
Just
Picasso.
to see... To do what?
No Picasso.
No Picasso, I know. I watched it back yesterday and it was like... I looked like the singing detective. It was just like, not good at all.
You look like, you know, like when it's like on a program where you're just trying to blur someone out.
Yeah, blur someone out. Yeah, so I didn't know, hide my identity.
I should do that.
You could do that, Madonna, yeah.
Go live on that.
Yeah, go live on that. Yeah, but it wasn't very good at all, that, now, was it?
You know, like when you watch a program.
Yeah, and you've got to say, identify the person.
No, like if it's filmed in in an area where they don't want the person.
Or if it's one of these people, a refugee or some kind of political asylum seeker, and they sit there and say, Johnny BDB didn't want to be named, so we used an actor's voice. It was like that. It was like I was a member of Al Qaeda or something, chatting away.
Are you both well?
Are we both well? Yes, thank you.
How are you?
We are.
What have you been doing today?
Yes, what have you been doing today? We've been out Christmas shopping earlier on this morning, doing our little bit of non-essential item buying, because, as we know, it's leading up towards Christmas now. The best part of Christmas this week, I think. It's starting to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go, 'cause the weather outside is frightful, but in here is so delightful. Well, since there's no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. But yeah, we went shopping this morning, did our little bit, bought a few things, and then got in and then got the heck out ASAP because it was heaving. We were just chatting again about earlier on about the new tier system and the announcement yesterday by Bojo about the new tier 4 situation and how bad it is for, we didn't want to, we're not going to like talk about it all day today, but again, if you wanted to talk about it, please. The panda's waving it. I'm floating in there.
So we've got Creepy who says
Creepy, hi.
And Creepy said, sorry, not managed to do the video yet.
Oh, it's alright. Oh, it's okay. That's okay, not a problem at all. Creepy, how are you?
Cool. Was up early speaking on the stream at 4 AM long.
Oh my word.
Listened to some music today and played guitar.
Ooh.
Now I'm here.
Yeah.
He's taken the dangling carrot away.
I know. Yeah, the scarecrow. Sorry, not the scarecrow. The snowman has no nose. Exactly. And Creepy, how are you? We missed you the other day, obviously because we were talking about the new strain of the virus, and tier 4 if you want to join us.
Also, Creepy, if you're wondering why the pictures changed, the platform that we normally go live on was working today.
Bonkers yesterday.
Because at the end of the stream we tried to go live on it.
Yeah.
And it worked at the end of the stream.
At the end of the stream.
And I was pressing a few buttons and I adjusted a few things and it finally worked. So
finally worked. So we did a really poop one yesterday. I was like a jigsaw puzzle. My face was just this like the Elephant Man or Singing Detective. It was like, today Matthew I'm going to be.
Creep said, I'm good, thanks mate.
Good.
And then Creep said, it's fine, don't worry.
I know, it's fine now. It wasn't yesterday. It was a right flipping game. I was looking at myself thinking, do I really look that bad?
And it was like,
yeah.
It was like, like
joining the dots.
When you're watching a program and someone
hidden identity.
Out,
yeah, blur me out.
Like.
Yeah. Lives in a house, a very big house on the country. You just said blur, darling.
Coop said said, so you broke it, then fixed it. Lol.
We did.
Basically,
We broke
yeah.
it and then fixed it. It was crazy. It was those little elves or whatever it was around Christmas time. And we've already been having a few issues trying to get on. Me and my friends, we got issues. Like a packet of tissues. Whatever.
And I've said, if you put the lights on in the middle of the room, does it make a vortex on each wall?
Yes, it does. It means these.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Yes, it does. Yeah, it really does. We, especially when you turn the lights off and keep those on, it is a real vortex. It's really good. We really get going on it.
British way.
Yes. Who is? I'm doing. I know. Getting rid of the carrot from the.
Now said ace.
I know. Thank you very much. Yes, the snowman's. No, where's your water? It's there. There it is. What are you looking for? What have you lost, my little panda? Another bamboo shoot? Water. Please be
I
careful.
want one. No,
You want what? Water.
No.
Oh, one of they're great, aren't they? Thank you. We have 4 of those. Yeah, it's great. We have. It's with the hypnosis. We sit there and chill out, and then we just let them go around and run around. It's if you watch them, it's like look into my eyes, and we just go. Well, I do actually have them on when I'm doing my hypnosis because they really are hypnotic, but they're relaxing too. Really relaxing. The fish love them. We have fish in the corner, and we put them behind the fish, and the fish are like.
Another thing is, Creepy said, no breaking things, then feeling that we fixed something wrong.
I know.
And now said, so you could have a
Sensory
one with 4.
I know. It's great. I know. We can
And
just.
also, our fish are in the corner.
Yeah,
And sometimes
they love it,
when
don't
we put the lights on, the fish watch the lights.
They just
and,
swing around and just go off their heads, aren't they? They're great. So the hypnotic
The
fish.
fish aren't crazy, by the way. The normal fish. They are normal
Got a bit.
fish.
They're great. The fish are they're great because obviously with the therapy that we do with hypnosis, we have fish that are really therapeutic, and we have the lights, and we have the meditation music.
Yes, fish are drawn to light.
They are. They are.
And Creepy said, where you get them from made the lights.
The lights, I can't remember. We got them online a long time ago. It was when I was looking for therapy stuff, so I can't remember. I think quite a few different variations and versions of them, but they're online there. I think they're called. They're like strobe lights.
I was going to say,
Go on, Bobby Panda.
fish.
The fish. That's right, Ryan. They are. Well done. Been off school 2 days and lost her brain totally. Yesterday, she was really losing it. Yesterday, somebody put a comment on and she couldn't read.
Yesterday on the other platform, I went live, and this person said they were in
Africa,
and they said we're 5 hours behind.
And she was reading it, wasn't
and
you?
I said it's 5 hours.
5 hours.
No, because I
My
was
word, she's been
reading
off
it
school
wrong.
1 day, and the brain has gone. It's like when you're off school and you forget how to write in the big holidays, isn't it? It's like
Now said show the unit.
show that can't at the moment.
Yeah, and I said, it's 5 hours in front, and I was like,
5
I
hours.
said 5
wasn't it?
hours.
Yeah.
5 hours.
We will. We'll.
Now said, Creepy said,
Go on, try.
What? I can't remember.
Global warming.
No.
Global lighting.
G-O-B-L-E.
Yeah.
G-O-B-L-E.
Global.
No.
Gobble.
Yeah.
Gobble.
Yeah.
Oh right, yes. Gobble.
I must admit, she has misread my comments a few times.
She does. She's a silly little panda sometimes. She does. You think when they went to school that I don't know all this education. I don't know, but yeah, to say she's a panda, she does really well. Really, she's her friends probably her friends. What do you think if you're there? And see how is she at school? Does she is she okay? Does she read? Does she say? Jump Janet, jump John.
Yeah, so
is she good?
Silly panda love. Yeah, so if you're from my school, can you please tell people that I can read?
Jump Janet,
no, when I'm at
jump
school,
John.
If you know me
I
from
can
school,
jump.
If you know me from school, when I'm at school, do I read like?
And does she go?
Ooh. No.
Ooh,
Do I
like she did when
read
she was a baby,
stupid, or
because she does that
do I
now.
read normal?
She does that as a baby, and now if she gets a question now, sometimes she goes.
No, I don't. So if you're from my
Great little
school,
panda.
or I know you personally,
Yeah.
do I do that or not?
I don't know, but let's just see if the magic works. But so the tier system, bonkeroonies. That's great, that madam. It's bonkers. Tier 4, and then obviously in Wales, they're going straight after Christmas Boxing Day straight into a lockdown or something like that. So we were chatting yesterday about this, Creepy. We missed your dulcet tones yesterday on this one because obviously we were saying about the new mutation, the new variation. Is it a new variation? And I was saying the same thing. What is it? What's happening? And is it just more easily transferable? Is that what it is?
Creep said the panda goes on an adventure, haha.
I know what she does.
And Nav said, I have a new video out today.
Have you? Oh, go.
Oh,
We'll check that out now.
check that out, yeah.
We'll check that out. We will.
Nav said,
Try
tier
again.
4.
Tier 4?
Yeah, I was trying to pronounce it right.
Oh, tier.
Tier
No, it's not
4
tier,
is
is it?
basically complete lockdown.
Yeah.
And soon the whole country will be in tier 4 for a new year, for the new year.
Yeah.
Watch the space.
Yeah, well, I totally agree. After we've had the frivolity that is Christmas, and then tier 4, are they just going to try and get us all in tier 4 till the vaccine's sorted? And what's happening with the schools? We had a message the other day that obviously schools aren't going straight back. And we didn't find out yesterday. Some schools don't even know. Staggered starts again, which is bonkers. I mean, they expect, that's weird as well, because they expect us to take our, I mean, we will do if we can. We'll take them at whatever time we can. But obviously, there's, can you bring them at 7:30? Oh, can you bring them at 9:30? Oh, can you bring them at 11 o'clock? Oh, yes, of course I can. Yeah, it's just like bonker. Yes, Madonna.
Nav said it's all conditioning. Everything mentioned by them will come in. And
Exactly.
Said, they're saying that COVID has evolved, but I think it's evolved to sustain a life for itself in a cold country.
Maybe.
As it's coming from a tropical climate.
Yes,
and
it has
said,
to.
how can they know? If they have witnessed this and isolated it, then it wouldn't be spreading. And Creep said, what's happening with flights? Do you know?
Flights that you can't fly, as far as I know. I think, as far as I understand it now, because of this new mutation, I think it was Holland the other day. The first country to say that they didn't want Brits over there was Holland, because they had enough narcotics over there and didn't want any more. But apparently the Dutch are too much, and in Spain they're a pain. The Swedes are all weird, Italians insane. The Dutch said you can't come and fly over here. Anyway.
Nav said my parents are abroad.
Are they?
In the Canary Islands.
Canary Islands.
And Creep said,
I think they can fly back.
Is that out of the country or coming back?
I think that's going out of the country. I think you can come back. I think you can come back into Blighty. I just don't think you can go out. Again, it was yesterday. The only reason I know was yesterday. It was the Dutch. Holland said that they'd got an embargo on people going into Holland from the UK because they fear this new strand of COVID. It's coming your way. Apparently, they don't want that over in Holland. I think they'll just take more drugs anyway, the Dutch, and just chill out with the narcotics. But yeah, it seems strange, doesn't it? Holland doesn't want us. How bizarre. What next? Small country on Azerbaijan don't want us either. Yeah, how bizarre. What next? I think watch this space. I think conditioning is the right word. I think they are. They're conditioning us to say, look, let's all stay indoors until we get the Oxford vaccine. I think they're playing for the Oxford vaccine, aren't they? Because it doesn't have to be stored at the minus 80 degrees or whatever, like the other one has to be. And I think they're just waiting now for the Oxford vaccine to be rolled out. And as soon as that gets rolled out, then it will be okay and the conditioning will cease. But wow. Wow. Penny.
Nav said they went first week back in January.
Pardon?
They went the first week back in January.
Yeah.
Creepy said, okay, good, lol. Nav said, well, that makes no sense, lol, still spreading.
Yeah.
If this was real, then airports would have been closed as quarantine from day one. Creepy said, how about foreigners like my missus coming to the UK? Would she be allowed? And Nav said, vaccine won't change anything. And Creepy said, they have now, they have Philippines, but they're back open again now.
Yeah.
Nav said, rules implemented now will be used again and again. Now compliance has been measured.
Yeah. So as far as I know, any flights into the UK coming into the UK, the quarantine will be in place again for 2 weeks. 2-week quarantine. But I don't know, it's changing all the time, isn't it? Yesterday, things were totally different. First thing yesterday morning, things were different. 4 days ago, we were going to have a massive party around Christmas, everybody, and there was going to be that particular period from the 23rd, was it, through to the 27th, 28th, when COVID was going to take a hike and going to go on its own little holiday, and you couldn't. It was off-ground TIG. And you couldn't get COVID between those 4 or 5 days, but now it's come back again. No, well, it's stupid, isn't it? That's bonkers.
Yeah.
But clearly, that's what's happening.
We can all mix for 5 days or whatever it was.
Yeah.
We can all mix and we can all do whatever we want.
And then we can have a shutdown, a
And
lockdown. Again.
COVID isn't going to be here. It's
Yeah,
going to wait.
it's going to go.
It's going to have a
Christmas break somewhere.
Christmas break.
Yeah. It's going to have a little
Go on
Christmas
holiday.
break in Holland, I think. It's going to
Go on
Holland.
holiday and then come back. Creepy said, I presume if you have a COVID test and you tested negative, you'll be fine, but heading to the British Embassy in January so they will know there.
Yeah, brilliant. Good luck with that one. Hope you're back. Are you coming to the? Is it both of you that's coming back here, or is it just your wife that's coming back? But it'll be interesting because it's evolving and changing all the time. Not just COVID. The rules are changing all the time. Boris earlier on today chatting again about his views on things. It will just keep changing, and then you've got certain areas that are in tier 2, and then you've got sort of like next door to them, the next county that's in tier 4. So it's a bit of a shift, isn't it? And apparently yesterday, all the not the airports but the train stations, Euston in particular, down south, was overloaded of people wanting to get out of tier 4 restrictions to come somewhere else. But obviously they were all stopped, made to go back home again. So again, house, get back.
Cookie said, well, I have to come back, mate, but I'm trying to get my missus to come with me so we can get married, then she can stay there.
Ah, yeah, over here. Yeah, and you're going to live in the northwest.
And
Like in the northwest.
Nav said COVID test law, more like amplified DNA particle test.
Yeah, exactly. It's it makes doesn't it? It makes you think more about Jurassic Park every day. How the mutations go. We were watching Jurassic Park the other day and smiling and thinking, yeah, that's COVID. And how exact is COVID? You know, when it talks about it, just fits in the little prongs. They just automatically fit in like that. It's great, isn't it? It's like a little star. Like a little star, and it just comes in and fits just into the little hole. Very clever.
Said, yes, mate, Northwest, my home country.
I thought it would be. Is that Manchester? Is that Liverpool? Is that Preston? Whereabouts is it in the northwest? What is home? Is it Manchester? Is it Lancashire? Lancaster? Preston? Am I way off the mark? Is it Blackpool? Maybe, I don't know. What about to the northwest? Are you actually from the northwest? Because we need to know. Are you Scouse side? Are you Mancunian side? Or a bit higher up, or Morecambe Bay, or God's own country to Tyson Fury, maybe Morecambe area. Where is it?
Chris said it's Chorley next to Preston.
Chorley. Oh my word, yeah. So is everybody went round there? They all talk round. They all go up and down. Yeah. They all talk up and down, round and round. Yeah. Up and down. Yeah. You all have that accent up there. Love that accent. It's so the Chorley.
Chorley Chorley FM coming in your ears.
Chorley FM.
And Creepy said, I used to be a lifeguard in the sandcastles in Blackpool.
Oh, cool.
Lol.
The sandcastles. Yeah, wow. Years since we've been to the sandcastles in Blackpool. Yeah.
And Nav said, Chorley FM, where the listener comes first.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll let you two fight that one out. Yeah, it's I have to host this one and seem to be impartial. Yeah, interesting. It's definitely
Creepy said yes, love Chorley FM.
It's Chorley FM. Yeah, it's when I used to be at university up at Lancaster way, and every day when I was travelling in, all I heard was St Helens glass has got glass as the class. St Helens glass as the class. St Helens glass every 2 minutes. It was the advert for St Helens glass. It was. Do you remember that? Or you were still there then? I did a PGCE up in university up there, teacher training. So I was based around Southport, that area. So lived out there, lived in the Southport area for quite a while. Opened my eyes up to the northwest and the Scouse Mancunian divide, where everybody's okay until Ormskirk. And then the Scousers come one way, the Mancs come the other, and then we have Ormskirk, and then everybody becomes inbred. It's very strange, but great. I loved it. Taught in some really lovely schools in Southport and the northwest area. Out up towards Wigan as well, in Ashton and Makenfield, and obviously Southport, Birkdale, Ainsdale, Birkdale. Taught in that area as well. It was great. I enjoyed my time up there, and obviously was introduced to the locals up there, and to the rivalry firsthand. That is the hatred between true Manx and true Scousers, which is definitely an eye opener up there. Edge Hill and all that area. Then I went up to Preston and did some work in Preston. In the University College at Preston, and again a different outlook up in Preston. And then we spent a lot of time going across to Blackpool, but most of our time was in Southport and Ainsdale Beach, that area. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Penny's, I'm not ignoring you there. Penny's only just come back in again, so maybe she can just tell me if you're still listening or if I bored you to death. I don't know.
So Creep said, hang on a minute. Oh, it's all changed now, pal.
Has it changed now?
Now said lol Peter K.
Just a bit.
Said, they have refurbed the pools where now the fountain post.
Ooh.
Where now the fountain post used to be is now a children's pirate ship, haha.
Oh wow.
And they are in talk of fitting new slides and a new area there.
All right.
The Jew sides will be the same opening going up where Aztec falls and Mount Zuma is the casino next door is actually owned by Sandcastles.
Oh,
so
right.
they're thinking of turning that area into a new swimming pool area.
Cool.
I used to live in Wigan next to Ashton.
Ashton and Makerfield. Yeah. Lovely. I was teaching in Ashton and Makerfield for quite a while. That area. It was a great area. I sort of really enjoyed some of the schools down there. One of the schools I taught at was Edmund and Arrowsmith, St Edmund Arrowsmith, for quite a while up in Ashton and Makerfield on the corner there. Some great schools, some lovely people up there. Made a lot of friends up there. It seems a long time ago now, because obviously I left up there to come back a little bit more down south of that area. But yeah, I had some happy times up there, some very happy times, some fond memories, and some nice stories to tell.
Creepy says, Coolio can't beat a pie, haha.
Can't beat a pie. No, we were talking the other day, weren't we, about balms, and that isn't worse, isn't it? Because obviously from up there, you've got balms, you've got bread cakes, you've got buns, not bums. You've got you've got buns. Yes, if you want to call them bums, you can do. Buns on seats, elephant buns. Everybody has buns. Off we go. Tourette's moment there. But yeah, talking about buns and bread cakes. Everybody calls them different things, because we were talking about, we started off by talking about fish cakes. And we're saying if you go into where we are now, if you go to some areas and ask for a fish cake, then you get a rissoles. Or if you ask for a rissoles, you get a fish cake. Now to us, a fish cake is traditionally, how we know it, is a bit of fish in the middle, sandwiched between two pieces of potato or scallop, whatever you want to call it, and then some batter on the top. And it's all battered. So you have batter, then you have two scallops, and then you have fish in the middle. Sometimes it's mashed fish, but normally it's just fish. Some people call those rissoles, some people call them fish cakes. And now they're never the twixt shall meet, as it were. Rissoles, fish cakes. And then we got on to your area. Bread cakes, balms, buns, bread cakes, barm cakes.
Creepy said Wigan pie.
Wigan pie. We saw that the other day, didn't
Yeah,
we?
and-
Wigan. Am I right? Wigan pie. It's a pie, a pie in a bread cake.
And Creepy
A
said
pie butty.
Chorley cakes.
Chorley cakes. Yeah, chorley cakes. We were Wigan pie. Was that the one, Donna, we saw? Was it Wigan pie? It was. I think it was a bread cake with a pie in it. So it was a pie sandwich. I might be wrong. I don't know because it was some.
Oh yeah, so.
Do you remember we saw that? This guy, the Scouser came on, and he was going around the areas, and he was sampling the food of Wigan, and,
Yeah, I
and,
remember
and we was talking about that, wasn't he? I do remember watching it on YouTube. That one.
Creepy said if you ask for a batter in Wigan, they give you something like ash brown.
Yeah,
Ash
yeah.
brown.
Yeah.
Yes, Wigan pies. So if you ask for a batter in Wigan, they'll give you something like an ash brown.
Oh yeah, no, that's strange, isn't it? Yeah, but it's great, isn't it? Different parts of the country, different types of things. Even where we are down here, the variation on a theme is quite interesting. But the main thing is the fish cake thing, risole and fish cakes, and you can really go on, and you can really upset people, because we live sort of like kind of like midway between Manchester, Sheffield, Barnsley, out in the countryside. So we have influences from Dingleland and Barnsley. We have Dedar influences from Sheffield. We have the Mank influences, and then we have the Derbyshire influence as well. So it's quite a bit of a melting pot where we are for all sorts of reasons, and foods in particular. Literally a big melting pot for words, colloquialisms. Again, words that mean different things to different people. I remember, I mean, this is one for you, Creepy, your area. I couldn't work out how I was in a school teaching in Southport, Ainsdale, on that way. And this guy came in to me and said, "Sir, we're off to buy some new pants at the weekend." And I thought, whoa. I don't need to tell everybody. It was like, it wasn't a big thing for me. If I wanted to buy a pair of boxers, we just used to go and buy them. We didn't make it a family occasion. I was like, I'm going with my mum to buy some pants, some new pants. And of course, pants, trousers.
Yeah.
Now, you up there referred them to them. I'd never heard them being called pants, apart from Blackadder, Mr. and Mrs. Pants on there. But yeah, I was laughing my head off, thinking, well, this guy's really needs to get out more, because him and his family are all going to choose a pair of pants at the weekend. And clearly, it wasn't pants as we know it; it was a pair of trousers.
Creepy said pants is trousers.
I know, but I obviously at the time didn't know. So pants to us was like boxers, and I was like, oh, the whole family's going out to buy him a pair of boxers. Really should get out more. But yeah, that was, I mean, obviously exaggerated a little bit, but clearly pants, yeah. Different colloquialisms, different things meaning different things to different people, and items of clothing, but pants in particular. That's come down here, and of course you get a bit lower down. Do you remember Trevor and Simon, Swinging Your Pants? You have a shirt that you really like, a shirt that you feel so groovy in. Swing your pants, swing your pants. That was a big thing, and obviously it's...
Creepy said got to get bus to get market.
He's got to get to the bus. Go to get the market.
Got to get
bus to market. Oh yeah. Exactly.
And Creepy said we change things and miss words out sometimes.
And do what? Yes. I mean, around here, we obviously it's a lot of going tut. Yes, it's a bit. We're just off tut, or we're just off to thee. We're just off tut. Or around here is a lot of dunts and wunts and cunts and shunts and dints. No, okay with that. No.
We change things and miss. Oh, it depends if we can be bothered to put words in.
Yes.
You just said a bad word.
Did I?
Yeah.
What, dunt?
No.
Oh, I shouldn't.
You said.
Did I? Oh, I don't know what I said, you know. But it says, yeah, couldn't. Yeah, it means couldn't. Yeah?
I know.
I don't know. But yeah, we have we have like, it's really strange because you have one side, I don't know. You have like doesn't or don't. So one side you have Sheffield, and you have what we call Deedars and Deedar language, and then you have Dingle language, which is the other side, which is Barnsley colloquialism. And they have, for a pavement, for example, they call it a cossy edge.
I was talking to some of my friends the other day about how different people say different words.
Yeah, they're like what, my darling? What were you talking
Like,
about?
well, we were talking about how people from some areas say things and how people from...
Yeah, how we pronounce it in different ways, yeah. But a classic example is, you see, in Yorkshire in particular, of which we are part of Yorkshire, we have things like we say, in Leeds in particular, to Leeds, they say things like, "Oh, what's she way? She'll wear sen." So you say, "Oh, what's she way? Oh, what's she way? She'll wear sen." And there's thee and thou. But thee and thou is a Yorkshire thing, but then if you get into Sheffield, it's dee and thou. Hence why Sheffield people are called deedars, because they say, "Nah, then dee, ada going on dee, ada alright." And in Yorkshire, they'll say, "Nah, then thee, ada going on, ada alright." So you've got Yorkshire that says thee and thou, but then in Sheffield, it's dee and thou. So if you've got somewhere in the middle, it's all a mixed melting pot. So you've got dee, da, thee, thou, dunt, wunt, cunt, shunt, dint, dunt, and it's very interesting. And the only reason I say that, without getting my high horse, is I did one of my honours degrees in semantics at the University of Sheffield, where we studied language and linguistics. So for me, it's something that I like to get my teeth into, semantics, and it's amazing. The origins of language, it really is.
Creepy said A-up arcade.
A-up arcade, yeah, that's another one, isn't it? Arcade.
Oh, we were talking the other day about how people say things like
arcade, yeah.
Kid.
Kid, yeah. Oh, you have a pet hate, don't you, about being called kid? Yeah.
I've been called kid a lot.
Kid, yeah.
Not as in...
A kid's like a little goat, isn't it?
Not as in kid.
No, as in,
Like
alright, our kid.
Alright, kid.
Our
I
kid.
hate that.
Oh, was that a kid? Is that a Scouse thing? Or is that a Mancunian thing as well?
No,
Is it a Northwest thing? I don't know.
So, like, for example, I'll go somewhere, or like sometimes, and they'll say,
Alright, our kid.
Yeah.
Alright, our kid. Is that what it is?
Said people say using the word a is a Newcastle thing, a Geordie thing, but it first originally came from Lancashire.
That's right, eh? It was, what was it more? I. Why I? So we're talking about that, why I? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Said fella is my pet hate.
Fella, that's a very Leeds thing.
Soldier.
Yeah, is that what, sorry?
But it is for every soldier.
Is that what they say for every soldier? Is that what it came from? Because the people who use the word fella.
Mine's kid.
Creepy's fella. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But I think to me, a fella is a Leeds thing. It's a West Yorkshire thing. People say, "Are you going on, fella?" Instead of mate.
Right, fella.
Fella, are you fella?
Creepy said, aye, same.
Aye. Well, why aye?
So what?
Aye, Captain.
Creepy said, no, every soldier hates the word fella. Lol.
Is what? Sorry.
No, every soldier hates the word fella. Lol.
Fella. Is that why? Excuse me, what that was. Go away. I don't know what it was. Pardon my foot missing. Yeah, it was a fella. Everybody seems to come from West Yorkshire. The word fella, and it's used a lot. It's like instead of mate,
What's your
pal, duck from Nottingham.
Right, duck.
Nottingham people use the word duck a lot. Derby and Nottingham. Mind you, people from Nottingham can't even say the word Nottingham. They have to say they're Nottingham. They say Nottingham. Nottingham, it's actually, but they should know because they live there. But it's don't you just love? You could talk all day. I'm sorry if I'm boring you here, but pardon? Dear.
And
mate.
What was that
pal?
one that you just said?
Duck.
Alright,
duck. All right, duck.
Creepy said it's so demeaning.
It's what, sorry?
We've got zigzag.
Zigzag. How are you, Zigzag? You've just caught us at a colloquial moment. We're talking about variations in words and what they mean to different areas in the country.
Creepy said, "Hey up, ducky, alright."
Is that all right for you?
Zigzag. Hello, Zigzag. How are you doing? We're just speaking about how different people say
different things, different languages.
Ducky, alright.
It's yeah. Have you noticed as well in different parts of? I've noticed in particular in different areas, like in Ireland. You have to be sure, but I, we're rocking about. And then you've got the really relaxed side of it all. At all.
Zigzag said yins.
Ying.
Yins.
Yo, I say different variations again. Well, we have over here. What I was thinking about in Ireland, you have the what about you? You know, you have your Jim McDonald. What about you? You have that side of your Northern Ireland that's very Republican. And then in the Republic, you have the very much Daniel O'Donnell. It's all hairy fairy and all about you.
Zigzag said, you are your yins.
We are what, sorry?
You are your yins.
Yeah, well, you have to explain that a little bit more. So what's that again?
You are.
You are.
Y'all. Yins.
Oh, I see. I know. Another great example there. Thank you.
And Creepy said, go get tea bricks from there.
Do what, sorry?
Go get tea bricks from there.
From there. Yeah. Over there and that. Well, it's this and that again, isn't it? But I've noticed that what always used to amaze me and still does from Liverpool is the difference in accents. You have two different accents from Liverpool. You have the people who speak like that. They're very, very talking like that. You know, the John Lennon type of people who talk very low. And they kind of like exaggerate things and very philosophical and make it all as it's supposed to be. But then the other side, you've got alright there, whack. You've got them really high up there. You've got alright there, whack. High going on, mate. So you've got those up there, and then you've got your John Lennons down there, and somewhere in the middle, you have a mixing of the two. But it's amazing to listen to it.
Creepy said Irish, lol.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Zigzag said, in the South they say y'all, in New York they say you all, in Pittsburgh they say.
Oh,
you.
sorry. Of course. Thank you. That's Zigzag. Thank you, because that's an American ism, isn't it? So obviously, even from America, you have different variations on a theme in there. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm sorry I was being a bit stupid there, thinking about. But obviously, east side, west side.
Creepy said, in my combine harvester, Wiltshire.
Oh, I got a brand new combine harvester. Oh, right there, I wore. Talking about. You've got that. We were watching Poldark the other day. Poldark. From right down the bottom there, Mr. Poldark. And how right down in the, from Somerset, and then right down there in Cornwall, and right down there, because we love, don't we? We love Poldark, but the accents again, great accents, I love accents.
Creepy said, in Irish, T is three dare.
Tree deer.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
Zigzag said, in any state you don't say boy.
Boy.
And Creepy said, we call them in the army farmers.
Farmers, well they are. Well, we were watching. Do you remember the film? What was it? The football hooligan film. Don, what do we call it now? The one with that we were just talking about when he goes, "Oi, farmer." What was the film? There's one in Town called Malice.
It was the Firm.
The Firm. That's it. Sorry, we watched the Firm. We do like to watch the hooligan films, and we're watching The Firm. And the guy, Bez, I think it is, that's from the West Ham crew, goes in and says, "Oh, you farmer, you'll get yours when we land on your plot," from Portsmouth, Pompey. Then Yeti was obviously Millwall, and then Bez was Bex was ICF and West Ham. And again, you've got the difference between the. He was referring to the crew that were from Portsmouth as farmers. So yeah, that's I can see that. But you've got the Worsley's that comes from there. I know football when you the Tractor Boys from Norfolk, from the Norfolk Broads, and Ipswich and Norwich. Again, you have the dulcet tones down there, don't you? There's a variation on Somerset. But it's it's less pronounced. But so each and every area in the UK has its own different variations and accent, and the difference between accent and dialect. It's remarkable.
Creepy said, as that name came from the Great War, World War One, all farmers came from that area.
Oh yeah.
And Zigzag said, by the way, the awesome dance video of the panda. Thank you, Zigzag.
Oh,
Like my
great!
dad.
Thank you.
Thank
The
you.
last one was that the one that you posted
Christmas
the Christmas one?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for your kind words on that because she loves to dance, don't you?
Yeah.
Loves to dance. That panda. She loves her little dancing. But certain things, don't you think you find that you take people less serious from different places depending on their accent, which shouldn't happen, but it does. People have got renounced. People have also used renounced pronunciation. Have always got on better in different fields. But now, because once upon a time you had to speak renounced pronunciation to get a job on the BBC, for example, to present a TV show. But then obviously enter Anton Deck, and things changed, and it was then trendy to have a regional accent. And it was people warmed to it, didn't they? I don't know what you think. Sometimes it's nice to hear. Sometimes I think there's a time and a place. I think it's nice to have a renounced pronunciation voice when we're being advised on something. But then sometimes we feel it's patronising us. So it can work both ways. Do you like renounced pronunciation? Or would you prefer somebody to speak in a more localised way? I don't know. Sometimes it goes with authority. Maybe I don't know.
Zigzag said, "We're on from everybody thinks the people in the south are slow because they take time and use different words, and people from New York think they're smart because they talk quickly and."
Oh, I see.
And Creepy said, "I can't take a southerner serious. Well, I despise the Brummy accent."
Oh, yeah, Brumai. I was just about to say that. We were saying Yamunkai. People from Birmingham and from Brumai. You cannot take them serious, can you? No. But like I was saying, if they were reading the news and they were reading there and they were saying, "Hello, everybody. COVID's coming to get you. It is." Then you wouldn't take it serious, would you? If Boris came on and said, "Hello, everybody. I want you to stay in over Christmas." Speak like Noddy Holder. Would we listen? We wouldn't do it, would we? As you said, you wouldn't take it serious. Again, you love the accent. It's so funny. Every accent is interesting, but some accents.
They despise the Brummy.
Pardon?
They despise it.
They despise it.
Yeah.
The Brummy accent.
Yeah. Creepy said, "Everyone thinks I'm from Yorkshire when I talk. I never lived there. My mum is originally from Sutton in Ashfield, and my dad is full-blown Lancashire.
All right.
Toys R Us in Brummy is toys and we."
Wow. Yam going there, yam. We noticed there's a slight difference, isn't there, between Birmingham and Wolverhampton? Like Wolverhampton. So you've got Birmingham and the Black Country, and then you've got the accent as it changes a little bit, and then it goes up to the East Midlands, and that's when then becomes duck and things like that. But it's very strange. It's really funny how accents and dialects have evolved over the years and merged in together. That's quite interesting. Yeah.
Creepy said, honestly, it's how they say it, toys and we.
Toys and we, is that what they say?
That's what it's actually.
Toys and we. Because they probably can't pronounce the word us.
Creepy said they sound like they have something wrong with them. Sorry, but it sounds like they're all depressed.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, monkey. Yeah, I'm gonna get out now. What's so for monkey? It's not right, is it? They always seem to be miserable. Yeah, you're right. They're always moaning and groaning like that, isn't it?
Be happy.
I can't. I try and be a happy one.
You can't do that.
Can't really be a happy one. No, doesn't work, does it?
So bleeding slow, lol.
It isn't it? Yeah, but again, we were saying the Scouts thing that I was talking about earlier. You've got the John Lennon, very slow and very pronounced, trying to be kind of like philosophical when they try and pretend that they know everything about everything. But then the other side, you've got the ones that talk like that. Really sure.
Creepy said it's like they have taken sleep medication and not woke up.
It is, isn't it? Yeah,
It's like they've just woken up in the morning and
yeah.
like.
What do you want? Yeah, it's kind of like Top of the Monkey from Pipkins a long, long time ago. But yeah, I think you have to have an accent that you trust if it's giving you information. I think if I was going to see my doctor and he came up to me, or she, and she said, "Yeah, I want to sit and tell me what's wrong," I would be very sceptical about telling them things. In the same way, if I was if I was speaking to my bank manager, if I came in to see my bank manager and he said, "All right, there, mate, you want to sit down and talk to me about your finances, then, or what?" Then again, I'd be a bit, whoa, hang on a second. And again, the difference in Scotland between the Glaswegian accent and the people from Edinburgh, totally different accent, isn't it? I can understand people from Edinburgh, but Glaswegians, when they get off, Rab C. Nesbitt, oh my word, oh my days, that's something else, isn't it? Do you get what I mean? From Edinburgh and then Glasgow, the same country, two sides of the opposite sides of the country. I presume one a very Celtic influence, one a very Protestant influence. But let's not even go there and start declaring war. Did you, Creepy? Did you ever do a tour of Northern Ireland or Ireland at all? Because clearly you would have your own views on the Irish game from being a serving armed forces person there. That'd be nice to know. You did mention it, but when you were in the forces, was the tour of Ireland still there? Did you do Ireland? Did you do Belfast down the Falls Road? Because obviously, again, a very interesting thing to have an English accent being part of the British Army. I don't know. Maybe you could tell us. Maybe you could share some stories from working out in Ireland, in Belfast, and being a British soldier. You weren't there, would I?
Creepy said, "No, mate, not that old, haha."
No,
but
no,
my
no.
uncle is Irish, and he served in there when he was in the Irish Guards.
Irish Guards, again, yeah. It's I know, obviously, the mid-80s, early 90s, a very big melting pot, wasn't it? Obviously we're talking Sunday Bloody Sunday, back in the late 60s, that era, a massive. I had a friend at uni that was his parents. He was a Protestant, very, very heavy Protestant from Belfast. And used to say, when the bell rings, we go and we sort it out. Straight when that bell rings, you go and whatever you're doing, you go and sort it out. Because, and he was absolutely adamant that when the bell went, you went and did your thing and got out there, and that was good. It was just like, crazy guy.
Creep said he is a retired major serving 26 years in the Irish Guards.
Wow. You'll have seen a few things then. Serving in Northern Ireland for all that time. I presume the original Black and Tans influence and that on the streets of Belfast. Talking about that, you only have to watch Mrs. Brown, don't you? And the accents that are on Mrs. Brown. I love watching Mrs. Brown. And I didn't know what the crack was. The crack. Have you got the crack? Didn't know what it was. Means something different over here, the crack. Than what it does a crack over there.
Creepy said.
Oops, Creepy says what?
Creepy said he is one of them that could go. Right, I'll try it right now. He is one of them that could go to work, kill, come back home, and not even have any twinkling on what he was all home life. As soon as he came through the door, he never spoke of his duties. Not even to my auntie. He believed home is home and work is work.
Yeah. And there are a lot of those people that can switch off like that. Whether they did actually switch off or whether it was a front, I don't know. But they must have seen some amazing things. And I can see it from both ways, because I can see that for their own mental health, shutting off was maybe a protection thing. But also maybe if they needed to talk about it, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Nav said still with you, just been jamming.
No, that's I'm jamming. Oh, cool. Is it? nothing like a little bit of a jam between friends. If you're coming out of in Ireland again, we're just talking. Penny.
Creepy said, me, I'm open to it. I'll talk about it if I'm asked, but I won't come out and say it.
No, I think probably that's one of the better ways to deal with it. I'm just thinking about people who are in that situation that really need to offload, but then come home and then don't talk about it at all. Then it festers. You've been a fool for you. You've got me wrapped around your finger. But I have to let it linger. The Irish debate will go on and on forever and ever. We were watching a programme the other day. I thought it had all died down, the Protestant and Catholic thing. I thought it was a thing of the past, but I was watching the Orange Parade still exists, doesn't it? And in some parts of Belfast and some parts of Northern Ireland, there is still that hatred there. That deep-rooted hatred. The Orange Day Parade still doesn't go down very well at certain Catholic areas, wouldn't it? Would it? But like Glasgow, Celtic and Rangers. Penny.
He said, to be honest, me and the rest of the family all believe he is a hard man. Not like hard as in he will do you in, but hard in the sense to how someone can do that.
Yeah. I think it's like you just said, isn't it? It's kind of like the para mentality. I would have thought the SAS. The para mentality. I was trying. I mean, I'll go back. Remind me, Penny. Remind me about my original training in kickboxing.
Creepy said not talk about what he has been doing, even if he was just at sentry duty or going on exercise.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, well, I think probably it probably stems from the need to know basis and less is more. When I first started my journey in martial arts, as you know, I'm a Thai boxer and went out to Thailand and trained full contact Muay Thai. But I originally started training kickboxing right at the very beginning, and I was taught by an ex-para who taught me some amazing things. But he was bonkers. He was a retired para, and he taught me some things that were. I don't think they were just strange. They were lethal, and I didn't realise I thought I was being taught kickboxing originally, but what I was actually being taught was the para's way of fighting, which was self-defense and unarmed combat. And then obviously I went on from doing that. This same guy broke my wrist, by the way. He broke my wrist within the first 6 weeks of training. And taught me some amazing things, which opened my eyes to what he knew. And then obviously I went away then, and then went over to Thailand and started again. So I've always been a bizarre fighter, because I've got the old the old training of the paras there, which was first hand, but then went on to Muay Thai and did it the science of the 8 limbs properly. And then used them both together and fused it as kind of like street fighting, Muay Thai, karate, kickboxing, very mixed bag. So when I was training my daughter originally, it was very interesting for her.
Creepy was training for the SAS.
SAS, yeah.
Creepy said, Nav said, I know some. I know some Wing Chun, just need to
Wing Chun.
more and maybe mix it up with another martial art.
Yeah, exactly. But that was it. You know, I mean, I was taught by a para who taught me all the pressure point things and all the he was from the belief that you don't waste energy. You get in, boom, done, finished. And he taught me all these things, these holds and these. Similar to what you're talking about there, but then I fused it with other things. But I don't regret it, but it definitely opened my eyes. And sometimes it was like, how you're a killing machine, and you think, really, did you do that? And yeah, you put it away and think, I hope I never have to use that for a rainy day. But it is interesting, the things that they teach you in the paras.
Nab said Wing Chun is AIDS.
It is. It's very good, Wing Chun. It's again, it's a combination, isn't it? It's a combination, and it's an excellent martial art. But if you think about, and again, I used to think MMA, mixed martial arts, And that's what it was. It was mixed martial arts, and MMA now is not what it used to be, is it? The term MMA is now used for a modern slant on it. And if you originally trained, because I like to think I'm originally trained in MMA, mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, paralanguage, kickboxing, karate, all mixed together, mixed martial arts, but it's not quite the same, is it?
Creepy said, yeah, that's the infantry way of fighting. You don't waste time.
Yeah.
You go in, strike them, and hope they stay down.
Yeah, go in hard and
so
come out.
you move to the next.
Yeah, exactly, and that was his belief, and I don't regret the training that I had with him, because the stuff that he taught me, exactly as you're saying there. And it is strange, isn't it, how people still go out and I'm a big believer in this. People still go out, these idiots, on a Saturday night, challenging people that they don't know just what they've got. They don't know the background. And to challenge someone or to threaten someone without doing your research is very, very stupid, as far as I'm concerned. Because you never know. I mean, I like you and like us three chatting at the moment, we've got some very good knowledge in there, and clearly to protect my own I would use it. I would never use it unless I was protecting my own, but if somebody came and obviously attacked my family, I would use whatever means necessary that I know to protect my family. And so these people that challenge people without knowing anything about them, these idiots on a Saturday evening in city centres, they're unhinged. You should, a fool that challenges someone not doing their homework, it will only end in tears. Thus ends my sermon, because obviously I moved then on to the sport of kickboxing, and now train my daughter. But it was very hard originally because of what I was teaching her. Because I want to teach her the best, and I believe I was taught the best and from the best. So I still taught her these little holds and these little moves that are illegal moves, but clearly interesting moves.
Creepy said, we also got told with the palm of your hand uppercut under the nose, and if you hit them hard enough, the constant burning cartilage and shoots to the brain and kills them.
My darling, does that ring any bells with you?
Yes, and Creepy said, someone did that when I was on a bit of R&R from Iraq. Last thing he did was so-called normal face.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way,
yeah.
what you just said to me, I haven't killed anyone.
No, but you are aware of me teaching you that particular move,
yeah.
My little panda. That's just been, and again.
Basically, he has now a concave face, as I rammed it in the corner of a wall 7 times. I got let off from jail and prison as the police knew I was on R&R from Iraq, and my patience wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly, and that's similar to the conversation we had about when I spoke the last time we were chatting on this, when we were on our way in Corfu town, on the way when the American forces were coming back from Iraq on the second Gulf War. When everybody had their little bit of Saddam Hussein and kicked his bottom, as it were. Everyone had kicked Saddam's ass, and it was an amazing 10 days sharing the platform with these Marines, these American Marines that docked just outside Rhodestown, and then came in that way. It was the admiration, the true admiration they have for the Red Caps. And for the military police is just phenomenal. They have ultimate respect, and I presume you have, for the MPs, because they really, again, the guy that trained me was an ex-para and an ex-MP, not a member of Parliament, obviously, not that politically correct. So we get the same gist of the conversation, respected, but very, very... These people know their stuff, don't they? They know their stuff. They do. Penny?
Creep said, I was in a fighting mind and in a killing mind. That's why every soldier who comes home after a tour has to be camped, confined for 2 weeks to come back down to civilization.
So true, yeah, I can imagine. Because obviously seeing what you've seen, seeing what you do see in those situations is not for the faint-hearted, and hence post-traumatic stress syndrome that is rife with so many ex-armed forces personnel now. And I do believe that there is a place for alternative therapy in that. What we do, meditation therapy, hypnosis, because there has to be some kind of release, because the trauma involved as such at the level, it's got to have left its toll on people. To see friends go by the wayside, to see people blown up in front of you, and to be in situations where fight or flight, the sympathetic nervous system kicking off so many times, the adrenaline buzz, and always on the alert, always on the lookout, always checking out, the sympathetic nervous system working full time, the endocrine system, the system's never been able to rejuvenate, never been able to engage with the parasympathetic nervous system, but always on the alert, always ready, fight or flight, is so exhausting. It's so tiring, mentally exhausting, physically exhausting. So yeah, for you guys coming back and needing 2 weeks, 2 weeks to just switch off and to come down with a bit of, hence the term R&R. Totally get that. My little panda, do you want to, when you've read that, do you want to come on for a little bit?
Creepy said, but yeah, people can act all big enough, but there is saying there'll be always someone bigger than you, so don't run your mouth.
Oh, exactly. That's what I was aiming at. That's what I was getting at. It's my belief that you never know what somebody else has got. And yeah, if you're running your mouth off, be prepared to back it up, because you just never know what that person has got, and what kind of day they've had, and where they've come from.
Creepy said, I'm always on alert now. 5 years left. 5 years left in the military. We always we be till we are in our individual coffins. That's how soldiers can pinpoint another soldier, even a foreigner soldier.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, to switch off must be very, very difficult. And the only thing that I can say is when I've worked with a few soldiers trying to engage with the parasympathetic nervous system, to use systems to try and help them to relax, to use systems to help them to engage with their parasympathetic nervous system, and to not work with their sympathetic nervous system, and to work with the non-analytical side of the brain, the subconscious mind, because it's the subconscious mind that it works wonders. And the power of hypnosis really works. The power to try and use meditation therapy is so beneficial to us. So beneficial if you've been, in that situation, to have your own coping mechanism.
And civilians can't tell if it's an ex-soldier or not.
They can't, exactly what I've just said. And so yeah, a gang of guys coming out of a bar on a Saturday evening, some local yobbo decides that who are they? Use a few choice words. Boom, big mistake, isn't it? Big mistake. Especially if they've only just come down, still coming down. I don't know. Yeah, always do your homework. Yeah, there's always somebody bigger up the food chain than you, and we should always be aware of that. We should always be aware of that and be conscious of that.
It's hard to switch off. As we are trained to kill, we are killing machines. We always will be. That will never change.
Yeah.
It's just knowing how to keep it tame.
It's important to take that time to relax and to engage with the parasympathetic nervous system. The power of the subconscious mind can work wonders. It really can. But on that point, working of wonders, the panda is just going to come on for a few moments while I get myself a quick refreshment drink and join you again in a few minutes. So I'll leave you in the capable pause of what is Penny the panda. Penny.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
See you in a bit, my darling.
So, I'm going to try not to break anything. So I'm going to try and read, but if I read anything wrong, I'm sorry, it's because I can't see with my head, because these holes are very small. My dad will be back in a few minutes, he's trying to get a drink. But yeah, it's quite hard to read with this on. Hopefully soon I will be doing a face reveal. We'll be doing a face reveal soon, so you'll be able to see my face. If you do know what I look like, then obviously, you know what I look like. But for people that I know personally, that's good. But if you don't know what I look like, then we'll be doing a face reveal soon. Yeah, so make sure you are here for that. Make sure you keep watching, so you're there for that. I'm just going to share this live, but also, hang on. So I'm just going to share this live for a minute. Just be a second. Hang on. Oh my gosh, I can't. It's really hard to see to type. You see. There we go. Here we go. Right, I've done now. So, yeah. I am trying to read because it's quite hard with my head on. Oh my god. Oh, excuse me. Here we go. And yeah, so these are my training gloves. These are what I train it with. They're my fighting gloves, my training gloves. They're gold. I really like them. And yeah, so these are what I use to spar with, to train with. And yeah, so there we go. But yeah. Hang on a second. There we go. And also, I can't share this live stream to like anybody else or like tell anyone about it because, you know, have I got a mic on? No, I haven't. But what do I sound like? Am I loud? Am I quiet? What am I? Or is the camera? Yes, it is. Why? Am I too loud? Am I too loud? What am I? Am I okay? Am I loud? What is it? The camera is quite close to me. But yeah, am I too loud? Do I need to be a bit more quiet? Oh right, that's good. That is good. I thought it was being too loud. I was like, alright, okay. So that's good. Like I said, I will be doing a face reveal. Hopefully, it'll be before I go back to school. So it'll be either it won't be this. Well, it might be this week or next week or the week after. But hopefully it'll be soon. When thank you, Nab. Hopefully it'll be soon, as soon as I can, and then you can see my face. Hopefully it'll be, within, it will be soon. I just thought you would be muffled with the panda head on. Oh well, that's good. Creepy said I was really clear, and he said he said that I was really clear, and he said he thought I'd be a bit muffled with my head on, but I'm really clear.
Oh, good.
So that's good.
Clear head.
Yeah.
A panda with a clear head.
Yeah.
That was nice. Okay, my dog.
Yeah. Hang on. Are you revealing your identity, lol? So now we are doing I am doing a face reveal. Hopefully it'll be soon. We're not quite sure when, but hopefully it will be soon. I'll be doing a face reveal, and yeah. So it's a good gimmick, yeah. So hopefully that will be soon. Right. Okay. Bye everybody.
Yeah, it's almost nice to keep a bit of a secret there, keep a bit of a mystery. It is nice, and Penny started originally. Obviously, Penny's the Sophia behind Elysium Sophia. My daughter originally started coming when we set up the channel to work with the younger audience, to appeal to a younger audience. Hence, she was created Penny the Panda. And since then, Penny's just been part of what we do as Penny the Panda. But the other platform that we are on, where Penny does a lot of dancing, and it would be nice to show herself on YouTube who she actually is. But I agree with you, it is nice to be Penny, to keep it a bit.
Creepy said Kung Fu Panda now.
Kung Fu Panda, yeah, exactly. A bit of
That's
Kung
what
Fu
it, yeah.
That's basically what it is, isn't it? It's Kung Fu Panda. But obviously, on that we talk about on the other platform that we like, then she can be herself, and she has got lots of videos on there when she can be herself, and it looks really well. But again, kind of like protecting her identity at a young age as well is quite important. But also equally important, be nice for people to see the face behind Penny the Panda. So it's a hard one, really. It's a hard one.
Now said Muay Thai Panda.
Muay Thai Panda.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Muay Thai Panda. Yeah, I can't believe it's Muay Thai is really important to us. Right at the very beginning, trained in Muay Thai for a long time, and the little panda is a very good little Muay Thai panda. She's very good. She is very good. Got quite a few won quite a few championships here in the UK. It's very good.
Creepy said, so let me ask you all in the chat, as well as you, David, as the civilians. Nav said to act or not to act.
What's that? Sorry, what was that
Creepy
question?
said, so let me ask you all in the chat, as well as you, David, as the civilians.
What are we asking? Is it a question? Okay, no, cool. Ask away. It'd be nice to be on the spot.
So Creepy said, what are your thoughts in soldiers killing in war? Do you think it's wrong, murderous, or right, and people need to kick up the backside?
So what was the question again, Madonna?
So, what are your thoughts in soldiers killing in war? So do you think it's wrong, murderous, or right, and people need to kick up the backside?
Ooh, that is.
And Nab said, well, it depends on the war.
Yeah, when you go to bed at night and you go to sleep at night, if you've killed somebody, if you feel that you've killed someone justly in the line of duty, then it's with. What are you waving at?
It all froze then.
It all froze. It's
just
okay.
frozen at the minute.
Doesn't matter.
Nab said it's frozen. So
It's frozen. Oh, it's just frozen. No. So if it is working again then now, I don't know. Is it working again now?
Creep said, sorry, my internet is messing up, lol.
It's what, messing up?
No.
Is it going down again?
It's come back on now.
It's come back on again. Yeah, if you heard that, I suppose so many different answers to that question. But my main answer would be, if I was a soldier, I would always have to be answerable to myself. So my conscience, if I went to bed in the evening and I felt that I'd killed someone, if I felt just in what I'd done and I could justify what I'd done and it was done for the right reasons, then I would sleep at night because I'm answerable to myself. So to answer your text of what you're saying, if I ran a, you see, it's hypothetical in lots of ways, isn't it? So if I killed another soldier and I was doing it, it wouldn't be murderous, it wouldn't be murder, and it would be fine as far as I'm concerned. But again, if I killed an innocent civilian in crossfire, then it would be unfortunate, and I would feel not guilty, but I would feel sad that I'd killed someone by mistake. So does that answer your question? I think there's always justification, and again, if the war is just, but so I think it works at so many levels. So what a great question. But I think as a soldier, I think if I killed someone in armed combat and they were a soldier and I were a soldier, then I would feel, yeah, that's the way it is. It is what it is. It's a war. But if it was a civilian, then I think I would have to think it was unfortunate, but I wouldn't beat myself up about it. I would feel sad about it because it was unfortunate. You know?
Creepy said, oh, I thought it was my internet, lol.
Thought it was what?
My internet, lol. Nab said, aren't soldiers usually just following orders? And Nab said, yeah, too many layers really. And Creepy said, well, when I was in Iraq, after my 10th confirmed kill, I started to enjoy killing. That doesn't mean I'm going to walk down the street and murder someone. I just enjoy it. It was a rush, a bit of feeling.
Yeah.
Feeling like the From Reaper.
Grim Reaper.
from reading.
Yeah, well, yeah, and again, you are talking about the onion, the layers of an onion, aren't you? Again, as Nab was saying there, it's true. It's at so many different levels. If you get you have to recreate that high. It's almost like a drug, isn't it? It's an addiction. So if you're a soldier and you're addicted to killing, you've been put there for a reason. You're doing your job, you're doing your duty, you're getting good at it, but then you become addicted to it. It becomes an addiction. So you can't be then blamed for being put in that situation, but the issue still exists. So we have to then break it down, and we have to start analysing it. But the thing you can't do as a soldier is to analyse it, because if you analyse it and stop and think, you're dead. So you don't have the privilege of doing that. We do. So we can then analyse. But when you're out there on the front line and you're, as we were saying earlier, you're obeying orders, you have a job to do. And this is where it becomes complicated, isn't it? Because you have to hope that the people who are sending you to do that job are well informed and have everyone's best interests at heart. But we're all human. And some of those people are idiots. And some of them are good officers. So I think everyone has to be on merit. Has to be. Because we all know there are idiots in the top ranks in the Army and the Navy and the Air Force, but we also know there are some great officers there. They all come from different reasons, and they all come from different backgrounds.
Nab said, who are we fighting?
Who are we fighting?
Terrorists, question mark. And Creepy said...
Yeah, good point.
Creepy said, your actions determine whether that person's life is going to be then end today or another day. It's like you have that decision. Exactly, David. That's why I thought I'll ask you guys what your thoughts are. And we've said Al-Qaeda in Iraq and Taliban in Afghanistan.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I hope that's answered your question without being patronising. Because I don't envy your job out there, but I don't also claim to know what it's like. But I also, from a therapist point of view, and like to think of an intelligent guy, and as a Thai boxer and a kickboxer, you could ask me the same question. If I was in the ring and I killed someone in the ring, how would I feel in a competition? And the answer would be I'd feel dreadful. But I didn't go in there to kill that guy. I went there to win that competition.
Nab said, I see.
Yeah. Strange, isn't it? It's very deep.
Creepy said, no, that's fine, mate. That's why I asked your opinions.
No, cool. That's great. It's strange, but again, it's I have the dilemma myself at the moment with what you're talking there, because a while ago, when I was taking my daughter on the kickboxing journey, she's training at a very high level. She competes at a very high level. We don't talk about it, about what she does a lot, but we know she does compete. Now, 3 years ago, she was training, I was training her, and there was a big kickboxing competition in the UK, and the guy was only 17 I think he was, and died in the ring.
Yeah.
And it was a wake-up call, because it was one of those things where you always believe, I believe I'm immortal, or I believed I was immortal until I had my daughter, until my daughter was born. And then you have to start thinking about other people. Because I did bungee jumps, I did everything. But now my daughter relies on me. So now I have to think before I act. So therefore I could never be a soldier. Because I couldn't think before I acted. Because then I would potentially be dead. And then Sophia would be without a father. Does that make sense?
Creepy said, Nab said, in this situation it's kill or be killed,
yeah.
I suppose. But I questioned the reasons behind it.
Yes.
And heard that many soldiers were there just to guard resources and mines. And Creepy said, you see, slightly different in war. We go out in a frame of mind to kill, but like you said, you don't when you get in a ring with another fighter, so I can imagine you'll be feeling really bad. And Nav said, so to them, maybe they saw USA as terrorists. Who knows? But I don't like the orchestrators of it all. And Creepy said, where I didn't see you. And Nav said, I'm just trying to be objective.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, and it's always going to be there. And I think people have got to wait for the answers. People have got to not jump in, because it's not one of these debates that you can have and just finish the layers of an onion are the best way we can describe it, because there are so many options. There are so many, but at the end of the day, soldiers are there putting their lives on the line, being asked to do a job. They have to hope that it's in the best interest of everybody what they're being asked to do. And again, I use the analogy there with myself fighting in the ring. I don't want to kill someone in that ring, but if someone attacked my family in the street or came into my home and tried to hurt my family, then obviously I would think differently about that. Very differently about it.
Creepy said, I never felt bad on the kills I made, and I've taken kids, youngest was 8 and the oldest was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And Nav said, are you out of it now, Creepy?
Well, I think he is out of it. He's definitely out of it now. But I take it that the younger ones there were a part of some kind of was that part of the Taliban? Was that part of the?
Nav said, so why kill the kids, or was it collateral?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I was just going to say. Were they part of a terrorist organisation that were just part of the same thing? How did that happen, or was that collateral damage, as they were saying? I'm presuming it was either a part of the terrorist group or it was collateral damage. I'm presuming from your answer it wasn't collateral. I'm presuming from your answer that it was part of the terrorist organisation. I don't know. Interesting. Tell us.
Creepy said, what we see is not the age, not a man or a woman, young, middle age or old. I saw a person firing at me, so they had a round with their name on it. And I've said, kids with guns.
Yeah, exactly. So it gets very, very deep. It gets very, very deep, and I think it's quite a privilege chatting. Obviously, I'm sure that a lot of people are listening to this debate in the wings, not wanting to get involved. But it is quite. You have to say what you think, but you have to think before you say. Does that make sense?
And Creepy, excuse me. Creepy said, basically we came into contact and then the kids started to run for weapons. They kept them up and started firing at us, so we had to fire back. And Nav said, Mad World. Yeah,
we were watching the documentary the other day. So, funnily enough, about was it the Taliban, or was it an Iraqi situation where it was the American? You'll have to forgive me. Yeah, there's an American lady that had that was married to a guy that I presume she didn't know he was part of. He took them on holiday, and her son then became recruited by ISIS, and he was then trained by ISIS, and he was a trained killer by ISIS, and believed in what he believed in. And the mother was telling us the story from an American mother point of view, and then the guy then obviously he was at the very early age was reassembling a gun, and the mother was watching and thinking this is not right, and then the guy now has gone back to America and he's suffering from so many different things because of his actions and what he was forced to do as a child. It was very interesting and it was sad, but it was very enlightening. I don't know what they called it, but it was about an ISIS situation. But it was very, very poignant. It was very interesting.
Creepy said basically we came. All right. Now said I have an American friend whose dad was a firefighter in 9/11 and a tank gunner in that war. And Creepy said this is where so many people all over the world don't see. Just because they're kids, that doesn't matter. They're big enough to fire a gun at us, and they're big enough to get taken round the back. And Nav said firing on mosques, etc.
Mosques. All right.
And
just want to make
Creepy said, well, that goes on rules of engagement, Nav.
Yeah.
And Nav said, so lots of collateral for him, yet he's messed up. Alcoholic, but a huge guy, very scary. And Creepy said, if a terrorist was in front or the side of a mosque, we couldn't fire on them, even though we could see them in case we hit the mosque. But if they're using the mosque as a firing point from inside, it loses all religious rights. Yeah,
the religious connotations, yeah, exactly. I don't envy that situation. Very, very tense and can escalate. And so clearly people have got to make decisions, haven't they, as to how they escalate that, and or do they just go for the most least collateral damage? I don't know. It's a very tough one. It's a very tough one. But yeah, somebody has to make that call, and you're there. You have someone in your sights. Do you pull the trigger? It's between yourself and your own spiritual beliefs, or between you and your God, or between you and yourself to know, can I justify that? And can I justify what I've done? And I also think back, I was shown some horrific footage, exactly the same, about what you were saying about Iraq and about Mosul, and also about Afghanistan. But also you have to go back to the American intervention in Vietnam, where the young people that were armed then, that killed so many GIs, and they stopped. And if they stopped thinking, oh, it's a young kid, boom, that was it, they were gone. So again, it must have been very, very difficult in Vietnam. Very difficult.
Nav said, yeah, I think that was the issue there. I heard him tell the story. He mentioned them all running out and just firing him on a tank. Yeah. On the exit in a tank.
It's very, very strange. And to think about the way, even back to the origination of the conscientious objections and Muhammad Ali, right the way back through from America to the war there in Vietnam. Which was a turning point, wasn't it, for things like this, for exactly things like this.
Creepy said, but now we are not allowed to do that. That rules of engagement change all the time. And now said, yeah, this was years ago now.
Yeah,
at least 10.
Yeah, it was years ago. But clearly, if age doesn't matter, does it? If someone is carrying a weapon that can kill you, then age becomes immaterial. But it's a melting pot. It's a melting pot, and I think time will only tell. Politicians are there to politicise and to make these decisions, but again, there are some good politicians, there are some bad politicians. And again, right back when we started all this, justification for war. It seems to us that justification's only there when there's something in it for us. Whether it's tyranny, and I did mention, didn't I, the other day, we were chatting the same thing. If there's something in it for us, i.e. oil or wealth, then we go there. But if it's somebody like Mugabe, that's slaughtering innocent people left, right and centre, the world stands by and does nothing. And thus ends my explanation. It's all if there's something in it for us. And that's not how it should be. I think wars are only can be just. Wars can be just if they're done for the right reasons. And I think wars have to be. Sometimes there is no other way than confrontation, to remove a dictator or to remove a situation. But if only we knew the truth, and if we were told the truth all the time, but sometimes you can't handle the truth. And Bojo said the other day, classic, he said, we have to rely on people during COVID doing the right thing and being sensible. There lies the problem. End of sermon. Because we can't. Because people do what's best for themselves, which is not always the same as doing what's best for the country. So do you look after yourself? Do you look after your country? Do you look after your family? Can you do all three? Can you do all four? But at the end of the day, you make the decision.
Creepy said, I'll tell you all the truth. The fight for my family. I fight for my friends. I've never once fought for my country. I've killed 57 people and I do not feel sorry that's the way I see it, and I am sticking to it, Lord.
Well, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think of honour, queen and country, you're a blessed son of the British Empire. Yeah, do you fight for your rights? Do you fight for your truth? Do you fight for yourself? Do you fight for your family? What do you fight for? You know, you've just summed it up there, what you fight for. You fight for what you believe in. If you believe in it, you fight for it. You fight for it. If you believe in family, you fight for it. If you believe in your way of life, you fight for it. If you believe in injustice and eradicating injustice, then you fight for it. Personally, I don't like bullies. We don't like bullies. So it's an injustice. And so you fight to eradicate injustice. Yeah, but you might have to become a bully to fight the bullies. It's a strange, the layers of an onion again. Philosophical debate, what it's all about.
Now, so we need to fight more than ever now. Freedom's being removed.
Yes.
Very freedoms already fought for.
And then you have the issue, don't you, in the difference between the definition of a terrorist and the definition of a freedom fighter. And the definition of a freedom fighter is fighting for the freedom of the freedom to do, etc., etc., etc. Now, is there a grey line? Is there some grey area between a freedom fighter, in the true sense, and a terrorist? Is there some in between? I don't know. I'm asking you. I'm asking two very intelligent people who have got knowledge. Is there a thin line between someone being a terrorist and someone being a freedom fighter? Is it the same thing? Is it different?
Creepy said there is too much controversial rubbish in the country for any soldier to honestly answer and say they fight for the country.
Yeah. So, a terrorist using terror as a tool. A freedom fighter fighting for the freedom, fighting for their freedom, as you said earlier. The freedom to believe in what they want, self-belief, to believe in what, a freedom of thought, freedom in movement, free to be free, free to choose. So if you're fighting for your freedom and you're fighting for your rights, then you can justify what you're doing. Yeah, so many times I've heard recently that discussion. Yeah.
Nav said terrorists may use the term freedom fighter.
Yes.
And Group said, and that's where we feel heartbroken, because in the world wars they fought for the country, and when it was their country in the day and age, a British citizen can't say it's the country we have let to. And Group said many people let too many people in.
Yeah. It's in so many ways, isn't it? And creepy, you'll buy into this one. The idea of religion causing wars throughout history, but at the same time, the idea of religion being hijacked for a means to an end, and then people hijacking a religion and then changing it to fit their doctrine. Yeah. It's very deep, it's very strange, very philosophical, but it does happen. And throughout history, wars have been fought via religion, or the term hijacked. They've been hijacked through religion and taken the bits they want from it.
Nav said feeling fighters wouldn't like to be perceived as terrorists. If the freedom is from tyranny, I'm all for it. Terrorism is all inflicting terror on other things, people, and imposing things that's not freedom.
So there are two different
And
sides to the
Creepy
stuff.
said,
Cool,
I
thank you.
agree with you, David, on the freedom, but the terrorism isn't in what they feel. It's how they act and do. They want to bomb London and stab people and run over and blow up the Twin Towers. And Nav said religion is division. And Grieve said it goes a massive opposition direction from freedom to terrorism.
Yes, and I agree. I do agree. I was just asking the question because obviously on one side you have a legitimate freedom fighter, and the semantics are there: freedom fighter fighting for freedom, and then terrorism. Now, terror and freedom don't sit together, do they? They don't sit together at all. So on one side you can be called a freedom fighter and fighting for your rights, fighting for your freedom, fighting for your beliefs. But some people call these people terrorists. I agree with you. I don't think they are. I think there are two different things. I think freedom fighters and terrorists are two different entities. Somewhere there's a grey area. But I do believe they're two separate entities. And a freedom fighter has always going to be up there as a terrorist using the means of terror. But then it's when a freedom fighter uses terrorism as a tool when it starts to get very clouded. What do you think? Waving at me, the panda. Yeah, it's very very bizarre, that, isn't it? It's when a freedom fighter uses terrorism to get the point across.
Nav said, watch for those events could be pre-orchestrated to instill fear and give excuses for war. I question all World War events broadcast on TV. And Griff said, freedom fighters want peace and to be free for their countries. Terrorism wants rule and contradict on what others say and act. And Nav said, yeah.
So yeah, exactly. Two totally different things. But the only way that there is ever any autonomy there and any fusion is when osmotically somehow terrorism becomes part of a freedom fighter's philosophy, and is that ever justified? So I ask you the question: is terrorism ever legitimate to be used by a freedom fighter? I think we're getting really heavy.
The uneducated people will think anyone with a gun we are automatically seen as murderers and terrorists. But they're not in the war zone and seeing what our soldiers are doing for Afghanistan. And Nav said when there was an agenda. And Creepy said people and Iraqi people trying to give them that peace and be free so they're not scared.
Yeah, it's something that again the onions.
And Nav said no cost, that's fighting for freedom, direct on the terror for tyrants.
Yeah, it was the hub of that conversation all started off when we were talking about your uncle, was it? That was in the Irish Guards, and in a situation which was quite unique, because fighting in a war as the Irish Guards, where patriotism, freedom fighters, and the Republican idea and the Irish idea coming together, it was a melting pot, and it was a very troublesome area. And you have that on one side, and then you have right the way to Al Qaeda and to ISIS. And did the West actually help ISIS to exist by not acting in the first place?
Creepy said they just listened to the crap on the news to make a story with it.
Yeah.
With it being on the news, it must be free, haha. It's crap most, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, Al Qaeda in the first place, as I saw it, looking at there, grew, and ISIS grew out of Al Qaeda, and ISIS grew because of inaction by the West to help millions of poor people that were being affected, and the West stood by and let it happen, and thus grew ISIS. So did the West play a part in originating ISIS? I don't know. I asked you that question, and I'm interested to know from a military point of view what you think about that, because it's been said so many times that was the situation, that the West not acting to defend certain people in Syria right at the very beginning then grew from Al Qaeda, grew ISIS. What do you think about that?
Nav said it wouldn't surprise me if ISIS were funded and armed by America or something. And Creepy said, but this is the thing, the IRA is not freedom fighters. They hated everything that's free. They wanted to run Northern Ireland, which is considered as a sage. Just because Northern Ireland is an island
Exactly. Yeah, it's great to hear an input from another source. It really is. Yeah.
And just because it home to so many Irish doesn't take its own by Ireland, it's owned by England trying to attack it, we will prevent and hit back. And Griff said, I have a sorry for you with this. Story?
Okay.
Sorry? I'm not sure.
A story.
Nad said, yes, used for a sinister agent, kind of like now using safety as an excuse for tyranny.
Yeah. Tyranny is always there, but I was before you were answering that, I was getting at the question was the West when the Assad regime in Syria was attacking its own kind, then the West let it happen and didn't do anything about it. So in came ISIS to protect, and then throughout the world, under the name of Islam or Muslim or whatever you want to call it, so-called freedom fighters then went to help their own kind, and then began ISIS. So do we not think, or is there any scope to think that right at the very beginning, had Assad been stopped doing what he was doing, then ISIS maybe would not have grown to the power that it became, rightly or wrongly? I ask that question. Do you see it that way? And as a soldier, do you see it that way? And obviously, now, do you see it that way, or do you think that's just?
The Americans give the Taliban weapons and vehicles to fight against the Russia.
Yes,
Russia was
from the
invading.
Afghanistan war.
But this is where they messed up, as it used them weapons. They were hated as it was seen as.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and that was right at the beginning of the original Afghanistan war. Yeah, when America armed Afghans to fight the Soviet Union. Yeah, I get that. I do get that.
Aren't Russia American allies? And Creepy said, protectors of Afghanistan, they weren't seen very highly, but then they started in the terrorist ways and started to hate the Western.
Yeah.
And Creepy said, oh no, now, blah blah.
Oh, was that
You're
through?
joking.
Yeah, cool. It's a melting pot, isn't it? Because the Americans funded the original Taliban, as it were. They funded them by giving them weapons to fight the Soviet Union, and then it came back to bite them on the proverbial bum, as we said earlier, because that's what happened then. And it's all, as we said right at the very beginning, it's all political, and it's all for gain. And again, there was something in it for somebody, and that's why they went that way. And again, I'm merely asking the question, putting it out there.
Creepy said, we wasn't even allies in World War II. They just hated the Germans more than us, lol. And now said, I thought Trump made mates with everyone, haha.
Not with China.
I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
And Creepy said, have you heard the saying, keep your friends close
And your enemies closer.
close?
Yeah, exactly. And that is true. I think that's very, very true. I think it's very I think it's very wise words, because you need to know. It's a game of chess, isn't it? So you need to know what's happening and what the other side's thinking. You need to know that. Penny, that's our mark to start ending this live, my little panda. It's been really good today. I thank, in particular, our two friends. People have been watching from the wings, because we know we have hundreds of people that aren't joining in it. But thank you, Nat, and thank you to Creepy. It's always a pleasure, and today even more so, because it's been able to air a debate, an intellectual debate, at different levels, from different meanings, and from people who and share knowledge. So thank you. It's been a great debate today. Really enjoyed it. Hope people that have been listening and in the wings, as we have done, to shed a little bit of interest there. Penny.
Creepy said Trump wanted to know what nuclear threat Russia had, and as it wasn't that long ago when Russia was mobbing rockets to their borders to fire on Americans, and the Americans moving ships, and Nav said, good solid chat, no hard feelings, nice and mellow, just smashing thoughts out, no judgments.
Exactly, non-judgmental. It's almost like the way that we talk about what meditation's all about. It's being in a non-judgmental state. That's primarily what meditation's all about. It's actually being in a non-judgmental state so that we can be a witness. And that's exactly what we've been doing today. It's been really good, so thank you again. It's always nice to chat with people of a certain intelligence, and it's been a privilege today. So thank you, and please feel free to put that bell on and to join us. You're always welcome in our home, whether it's to share, get things off your chest, or just have a general chat like we've done today. If you joined us today from the Philippines, from the Middle East, from Dubai, and you've not actually joined the chat and you've been there, stay safe and thank you for joining us. Also, if you've joined us today, Penny.
Creepy said, I'm happy to say my mind I thought for that right, and by rights thousands of soldiers before me fought for your rights of freedom of speech.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's freedom of speech, and that's what it's all about. It's something we should never take for granted because so many countries and so many people throughout the world don't have freedom of speech. So it is something that we are grateful for, and we will always be grateful for fighting for it. So if you joined us from the Middle East, if you joined us from Japan, from China, from the Philippines, and from Europe, if you joined us today.
Creep said, if you don't say what's on your mind, you're not human.
Exactly. We believe in that. We believe that mindfulness matters, and we believe that through debate, you're getting things off your chest, and you're getting things out in the open, and that's primarily what we're doing. That's why we've evolved Elysium Sophia into a chat show, because there's lots of similarities there for you to chat, for us to just chat among friends, to get things out in the open, and to air views and to air things. So if you joined us, if you've been from the UK today, you might want to just say hi to let us know you're still there, because we're just about to end our stream. And if you have been, you've been very welcome today. You've been welcome to join us. Hope you've enjoyed being part of the debate. Hope you've enjoyed listening in today. And if you have, great. And join us again next time. Put the bell on and stay safe. Other parts of the world. If you've been listening to us today, hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've taken part and actually set the old grey matter whirring round there. Penny.
Nav said, we are all having a brief experience, just got to make the best of it. Also, talking things out helps you and us. And Creep said, I say it regardless if people agree or not, I don't care, haha. People call me heartless and not respecting others on if they want to say. I just say, oh, hold on there, ducky. Where is your respect in letting me speak my mind, haha?
Yeah, well, it's at the end of the day, before you start the great philosophy to live your life by. So again, would you like to say anything, Penny, before we go?
Please remember to put the bell on so you can join us when we go live. Next time, hopefully we can see you next time when we go live. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope to see you next time, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Penny. So again, whatever you're doing today, wherever you're going, if you're in the Philippines, you'll be just winding down and going to bed now. If you're in the rest of Europe, you'll be starting your evening, and if you're in the UK, you'll be going a merry way. Whatever you're doing, if you're in the USA, you're watching us from there, you'll be starting your day a little bit earlier today. But wherever you are, start looking forward towards Christmas. Stay safe. Remember, you are free to make your own decisions. You're free, and you're an amazing human. And the best quality that we can have, one of the best qualities, should I say, is to be empathetic. Is to try and put yourself in the shoes of other people, but still have an opinion. Very important.
Bye, Nab. Nab said bye, Panda. Bye, David.
Bye.
And Creepy said Grinch.
Grinch. Yeah. Thank you. Take care. Join us again next time. And again, a pleasure as always. And take care. Stay safe. Join us next time here at our home in Elysium Sophia. And from the lovely, very precious Sophia, aka Penny the Elysium Sophia. Take care. Thank you for joining us. And as safe. Namaste.